Gonna work out is very spicy on that. It's kind of like eating an onion. But let's talk about cannibalism in my mangas based on my D&D game. So some of you ask, what is cannibalism in a fantasy world where different species exist? Because in chapter 1 of The Devil's Deal, you can see this merchant right here selling an orc druid arm. But yet, orcs are a sentient creature with rights. And we see Selma, our main character, carrying around a plate of what looks like fingers, which is confirmed to be goblin fingers. But yet both of those species are humanoid in nature. And with all things in my mangas, the answer is it's complicated, but let me explain. So within the Great Collection, where the Devil's Deal takes place, the policy is because of the divine war that happened several hundred years ago, worshippers of divine beings such as Anera, the spirit of lightning and wood, and by proxy, their druids and shamans are not considered sentient beings. So the Great Collection doesn't really consider it cannibalism. In fact, they actually have an entire market for that type of meat. But we're not done yet because it goes a step further. But what about creatures like the Nimbara that we see in my Deep Stalker Crow series? Because the Nimbara is a Fae. And Fae by default are automatically connected to the planar spirit. Well, the answer is kind of morbid, but they're actually hunted and served in restaurants. They have entire processes that can keep creatures like fairies alive while they literally soften their bones, just so they're easier to eat, kind of like boneless chicken wings. The thing is, you might be saying, oh, it's humans. Of course, humans are always doing this. But the thing is, this is a cultural thing for the Great Collection. Like, children as a whole grow up in this society where they're taught that this is perfectly fine behavior. There's nothing wrong with this, because those things are just animals. So at least as far as the Great Collection is concerned, it doesn't matter if you're an elf, dwarf, human, orc, or anything in between. If you are a divine worshiper, you can just as easily end up in this guy's stall. And the cities actually pay the Adventurers Guild to go hunt goblins because they're a special kind of headache, and because there's an entire market for their meat. Because it is considered patriotic to go and exterminate goblins by the masses and then use them as products. It's considered patriotic to eat goblins because they're such a national threat to the Great Collection. But not every society is like that. Like, for example, in my Night of Slaughter series, they do not eat humanoid creatures near the Tower of Babel. I know this is kind of weird that Sir Rift is eating lizards, but the Necro Swamp is just a different place. And as far as Fae are concerned, it's just a different beast. It's just nature isn't exactly ethical because she's eating an orc arm right now. But if you see my bio, you can read all my series online for free. And if you'd like to contribute to the mating manual, go ahead and grab a Ruby Gold sub to add a creature to it, or get an original character in the lore by grabbing a diamond.